We have here verse 14 of the 17th chapter of the Gospel of John, in the midst of the high priestly prayer that Jesus has offered just before the great events of the Gospel. He, of course, has been reminding his disciples as he audibly expresses this prayer of all that they have received from him and the way in which he will continue to be guarding and protecting them, especially through the presence of the Parakletos that he has earlier described. He's indicated to them that his joy is going to be fulfilled, brought to its fullest expression in them, even though they're going to be working out the great commands, the great demands of the gospel, in a place that will be hostile. And of course, we're reminded of that as we come to verse 14, where Jesus says, ego, given for emphasis, I, and then didoka. From didomi, I give. This is the first person singular perfect active indicative, so it means I've given to them and they continue to be in possession of, would be the idea. The indirect object is the dative plural of the masculine pronoun autois, so I have given to them, and then the direct object is ton logon, the word, the accusative singular of this masculine noun. So I have given to them the word, and then of course it's the word of God. So the second person genitive pronoun, I have given them the word of you. And of course the power of that word is implied in what we're hearing here. The power of that word to really set them apart and make them the private and special possession of God and all of those others who are going to eventually receive that same word. So I've given to them your word, kai, and the connective hokosmos, standing now in sharp distinction to those who have been transferred into the kingdom of Christ. We have hokosmos, the world, nominative, singular, masculine, noun, the world, emissesen. This is from misao. It means I hate, contract verb. Here we have the third person singular, aorist active indicative. So the world hated them, the direct object of the verb, the accusative plural masculine of the third person pronoun. So I gave them your word, and of course implied in this is that's why the world hated them. The world is not drawn, of course, by nature to the word of God, which was communicated by Christ. Hoti, because uk eisen, the negation of eisen, which is the third person singular plural, present active indicative of emi, I am, so because they are not. And then ek, preposition with the genitive, to, the genitive article with kosmu, the world. The world has hated them because they do not belong to the world. They have a different ownership, a different citizenship. They do not belong to the world. Kathos, the inclinable adverb, just as ego, again added here for emphasis, just as I, uk emi. Same idea. This is the first person singular present active indicative of emi, I am, just as I am not, ek, to, kosmo, repeating, of course, the same prepositional phrase that we had there. By virtue of the word that's been given to them and their receipt of it, they are not of this world, just as Christ himself is not of this world. They're of a different order, a different place, a different status. And there is a natural and rather severe hostility between the world, as Jesus uses the term, and those that belong to Christ. And so Jesus is giving them fair warning as to that reality, especially calling attention to the hatred that is part of the discussion, of course, here.